for moving Couva South forward, a very integral seat if the People's National Movement should return to office. So let's say a very special good morning to Mr. Rampersad this morning. Good morning to you, Mr. Rampersad.
Good morning, good morning. Thank you very much for affording me the opportunity to be here with you.
Well, I see you have all of your party's paraphernalia as you engage various districts in the Couva South area. First of all, Mr. Rampersad, tell us, how has the campaign been thus far for you?
Well, firstly, this morning we had our nomination successfully completed. So now I am the official candidate for the People's National Movement for constituency of Couva South. Previously, I was not the nominated candidate, but prospective. So now I'm official candidate for Couva South.
Now that you are the nominated candidate for Couva South, how enthused are you by this opportunity?
Well, this morning going to the EBC office, it was as though we were walking down there, and it was as though we were walking on air. The energy was so good with all the people who were there with us, so all the supporters, and they were so excited to get the work started, so to speak.
Mr. Rampersad, are you comforted by the level of support you would have gotten thus far, more so as it relates to the young people of the country and more so to the young people of Couva South? And I say that to you in light of the myth being bandied outside there that young people are not too much involved in electoral politics. How comforted are you by the level of support you are getting from, quote-unquote, the young people?
Well, I was very surprised. The young people, they came out to meet and greet with me, and they came out and they were asking some difficult questions that you don't normally get from the constituents, because primarily constituents are concerned about water, roads, and drainage. The younger people are asking about their future. What have you got in plan for their future for the next 50 years? So, yes, they're very excited about this election. They see this election as a different kind of election. They're hoping that the outcome of this election would tell them where their future lies.
Couva South has traditionally been a safe seat for the UNC, the People's Partnership. You describe yourself as the right choice for a better Couva South. Share with me your thoughts on that.
Well,
why are you the right choice?
I am the right choice because, like I said, I grew up in Dow Village and I know the area and I know the sufferings of the people. Being a businessman and being somebody who's traveled, and I have foresight and I'm focused on developing Couva South. The youths are neglected in this area, and that is the future of our country. Take, for example, I was in Dow Village, I was in Esperanza, Phoenix Park, and Baxter Hall. And you see the conditions of the playing grounds, the football fields, they're there, but the grass is about 3 feet, 4 feet tall. And people are complaining, the youths, they're complaining they cannot have access or use the grounds. Now, if we talk about taking youths off the streets and preventing crime and curbing crime, one way of doing that is to engage the youths, the young people, into something meaningful, something that they enjoy doing, rather than just turning to the streets and to a life of crime.
Mr. Rampersad, as you journey throughout the various districts in Couva South, what are the people telling you? What are some of their major concerns, apart from roads, water, electricity, apart from the infrastructure challenges? What are they telling you? Because often, politicians come to them and they make empty promises. What are you offering them, and or rather, what are they telling you?
Okay, now, I cannot not speak about the drainage situation, right? I wish that you could take a camera crew and we could go to Dow Village and see the condition of those drains. Black, murky waters, drains are 10 feet in width and with a 1.5 foot bridge for young children to cross. So it is difficult for me to ignore the drainage situation. But apart from that, we are now trying to engage with private business people to have jobs and job security for the residents of Couva South. For example, I was speaking to a businessman who is now doing the egg hatchery on the Rivulet Road. That is going to bring 800 jobs, 800 permanent jobs. Another business person we were speaking with, they're coming down to the Point Lisas area, and they have the foreign partners here. And we are looking at doing container repairs right here in Point Lisas. Now that is going to be another 600 to 800 permanent jobs, so welders, carpenters, and things like that. There's another feed mill that is going to be built in the Point Lisas area. Construction, 300 jobs. Permanent jobs after construction, 5 to 800 jobs. There's another rice mill, private investment again, that is coming in the constituency of Couva South, another 500 jobs. So I am looking at job creation for the people of Couva South.
Mr. Rampersad, in 2003, Caroni 1975 Limited would have shut their doors. A number of people would have been out of jobs. We have acreage of Caroni lands, now state lands. What are your plans? How do you intend to impress upon people who are involved in farming? What are your plans to further impress upon them how they go to get involved in farming to reduce the food importation bill?
Okay, now these farmers or ex-Caroni workers have been given 2-acre parcels of land. And we are encouraging them to start planting different produce on the lands. So maybe 10 farmers might plant okra, another 10 might plant tomato, another 10 might plant celery and something like that. We are hoping that we can get a new green market in Couva, where all the farmers can bring their produce there, and we can have a wholesale market rather than farmers from Central having to go 4 o'clock in the morning to Macoya. And the market vendors are complaining it's very dangerous when they have to do that. So we are hoping that we can have a central green market in Couva, plus some canning facilities so that we could take the excess products and we can have that canned and prepared for export or even for the use.
Okay, what are your plans for the now defunct Brackencastle sugar factory? Some time ago, it was being bandied about that this should be what you call or improve its infrastructure, so to speak, to actually attract what you call domestic tourism.
The state of decay and decomposition of the sugar factory right now, I don't think that is a feasible project. It can be done, but the amount of monies that is going to be spent in doing that is not feasible. Maybe we can have a small museum to record some of the things that has been happening in the sugar industry. Sugar industry had been a part of life for the people of Central, and we cannot discard it. So a smaller museum, probably take the remains of the factory down, and you can utilize that for farming. And you know, maybe some wholesale thing, but I don't think it's feasible to try and make that into a tourist attraction.
All right, Mr. Rampersad, we're going to take a very short commercial break at this time, and when I come back, we'll continue with our discussion. Stay with us here, 975 FM Hot Like Pepper. You're listening to a feature as we cover the politics of the day. I'm chatting here with Mr. Rajendra Rampersad, who is the Couva South candidate for the People's National Movement.
Hello, I am Rajendra Rampersad, your PNM candidate for Couva South. I ask for your support to take Couva South into government and to improve the quality of life for all of us. I have specific plans to create jobs, to improve agriculture, to revive Point Lisas, and to develop our infrastructure, also to enhance security. As a person born in Dow Village, California, and started my education at Esperanza Presbyterian School, I want to use my years as a successful businessman and a resident of Couva South to partner with you to make our communities better. I ask for your vote on August the 10th. Vote Rajendra Rampersad, the right choice for a better Couva South. Vote PNM.
And that was a paid political message, courtesy Mr. Rajendra Rampersad, who is the Couva South candidate for the People's National Movement, as we continue with our discussion here with him. The time is just about 11:30, so we just have about 10 more minutes again with Mr. Rampersad here this morning. Mr. Rampersad, as we move forward with our conversation, now, Couva itself is a beehive of activity. More so, we have the Point Lisas Industrial Estate. We have the Couva Tabaki Talparo Regional Corporation. We also have the Business Chamber. Have you met with various business stakeholders to discuss the way forward in terms of generating business within the jurisdiction?
Yes, we have been talking one-on-one with some of the business people in Couva, and they're all excited because these the business people we are speaking with, they're looking at this election as a new dawn. Mm-hmm. They're tired of the same old representation in Couva South. They're happy to see somebody who has foresight, somebody who has a vision, who can help the business community take their business into another dimension. So, yes, the business community is buzzing. They are very happy and excited to see a businessman from the area with long-standing family business in the Couva area. So we are going forward with that. We have sent letters to the Chamber of Commerce to ask for a meeting. Up to date, we haven't had a reply. I suppose they're all busy doing their own things. But we are taking that opportunity to meet with the businessmen individually.
Mr. Rampersad, your vision for sport in the area, we have a number of sporting clubs within the Couva South constituency. I can call a couple of them, yes, but I won't do so now. What's your vision to encourage sporting activities and healthy lifestyle as we move forward? All
right. I have been walking through the housing area in Couva because that is one of the so-called area that we have some challenges with.
Yeah.
And it is not as bad as what people say. I have walked the housing with just about 2 or 3 people, and I was greeted very warmly. Yes, people came out, the young ones came out, and they were telling you about the problems that they're having. And they're very simple problems. The grass needs cutting on the playing field. Mm-hmm. The basketball court needs bulbs. The shortage of basketballs and the hoops need changing. Now, when you look at these people, even the cyclists, we have a lot of cyclists in Couva, but there is nowhere so that they could practice their skills. Mm-hmm. So we are talking with some of the clubs and some of the young boys in the housing development and getting them to get themselves in groupings where sporting activities can be in a form of a club, and you have proper competition among them, rather than they just being, one-off strain all over the place. Because the end result is we want to get them up at the sporting complex at the Atto Boland Stadium there. Mm-hmm. So you train them from here, and then you elevate them and graduate them so that they can have use of those facilities there.
Mr. Rampersad, 3 weeks to go to polling day, August 10th, and I will not allow you to leave before asking you this question. Your message to the electorate, your message more so to the people outside there, the electorate outside there who are undecided thus far. Your message to them.
My message to them is that we want to enhance your lifestyle. We want to give you a better way of living and to get your family circle together. There are so many social activities that you need to get involved with. And that is what we're trying to do, to enhance the lifestyle of the people, to give them a better standard of living. That is our intention for the people of Couva South.
All right, chatting here with Mr. Rajendra Rampersad, the Couva South candidate for the People's National Movement. He is saying to you, the electorate outside there, he is the right choice for a better Couva South. And he is urging you, the electorate of Couva South, to come out and support him, to stain your finger for him for a better constituency. Mr. Rampersad, thank you very much for dropping by and for sharing some thoughts with us. All the best to you and your campaign.
I thank you very much. Have a pleasant day, Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes, well, we will now return to regular programming on 975 FM Hot Like Pepper. But before I go, I want to leave you with this message.
Hello, I am Rajendra Rampersad, your PNM candidate for Couva South. I ask for your support to take Couva South into government and to improve the quality of